Hey everyone, this is Carlo with 4GQ TV here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm here with
Andres Useche.
And Anthony Francisco.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure being here with both of you. I'm very excited for the convention. Very excited for the panel coming up that you have as well. But briefly, just for our audience that might be tuning in for the first time, can you just briefly tell us about yourself?
All right, so I'm a screenwriter, director, composer, editor, a little bit of a graphic artist from childhood, and a big comic book geek.
Anthony Francisco. I was a senior visual development artist at Marvel Studios. I've been there for 9 years, and my claim to fame is I designed Baby Groot for Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually, you get Baby Groot from the plot all the way up to adult Groot you see. Guardians 3.
And a lot of great stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know that there's one thing special coming up here at the convention, Andres, that you have set up with a team of fantastic people on the panel. Can you briefly tell us about the panel and what it's about?
All right, so first of all, I'm so happy to have you guys here. I'm so honored to be this great moderator and the awesome panelists that we're gonna have coming up. Some friends that I've known from their work at Marvel and in other places. We all share a passion for inclusion and diversity and fighting to overcome oppression in all its ways. Try to make sure that that the world that we present in our fiction really represents the world that we see around us. So the panel is going to be touching on that and celebrating the great work of people like Anthony, who are just geniuses as far as I'm concerned.
So both of you have somewhat experience in the industry, and diversity is very important for the whole world out there to feel like they're included in media that they watch, listen to. What would you say are some of the challenges right now the industry faces with diversity and inclusion?
I think that it's very easy to repeat what's been done before, and people sort of in a business they want to play it safe sometimes, and I came across that when I was coming up the first time around. I was building a project where they didn't want me to do with an African American lead, and this was before Black Panther. Yeah. So and they would just show me the numbers, and I'd be upset. I was so upset that I left that project and started just fighting for those causes directly. But so we've come. I think we've come a long way. We both know people in the industry who are doing the right thing and fighting the good fight, but a lot more could be done. So we're just speaking up our minds and showing, celebrating the beautiful artwork and pointing the direction, hopefully offering some idea from our experience to give ladders of opportunity to others from our communities to see them succeed. That's what we hope.
It seems like slowly but surely more of the bigger studios are, I guess, allowing for more diversity. And being at Marvel for 9 years, I think where it started was with Black Panther. We found out how it made $1 billion, I think, and it's the first one, and then even the second one. I'm not sure what the number second one, but I clearly remember Black Panther. So yeah, even that coupled with Crazy Rich Asians, when that happened, I think it opened the door for all of us. I also believe, I wish there were more, I guess, people that do research on how popular a certain character is. If you really look at the comic books and check out who's a popular character, you would have seen the Black Panther was already popular in the comic books. It would have been great if they saw those numbers and then tested out like a movie or series based on that character. But I'm still happy things are still going, it's slow, but it's going the right direction. And I think because of the pandemic, things went even faster for that, because each creator could have his own voice and then kind of publish his own online and stuff like that. Especially webtoons too, because of that you're able to do more.
That's true.
So a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah. I think that it's so important for people to see themselves in media, and that's something like the generation that grew up seeing Barack Obama as a president is going to be completely different, and they're going to be empowered in a way that wasn't thinkable even before that wasn't as conceivable. And I think in our field of entertainment, what Black Panther did is also inspire so many kids, and I bet you there's going to be a generation of artists and people who are just going to be empowered by those possibilities, and in every aspect.
I wonder, do you think, like, when I was growing up, I didn't quite really notice that at first. All I wanted to do was just make my show, but I didn't notice that, there was not as much diversity for some reason when I was younger. But I just wonder, when was the time, sorry, I'm asking the question.
That's fine.
When was the time, like, when you realized, you're like, hey, there's like not much diversity here?
Well, in my case, I come from Colombia, and we have every ethnicity within us. I have my native side, my Afro descendancy, and of course the white side from colonization. And what I discovered growing up, I never thought about color. My family is very progressive, but I started seeing that there's so much colorism within our culture as well, especially in South America. I can speak for Colombia. So that was shocking, like when I came to that realization. I came to the States the first time. I lived in San Francisco, and I thought, oh, this is heaven, this is so diverse, I love it, all these cultures, so much to learn from. But then when I came back, and I started touring the country, fighting for immigrant rights, I realized there was so much racism still embedded at so many levels that we really, really needed to do something about it.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like, because I was so into comic books, Marvel especially, that maybe because it's diverse already in the comic books, I didn't really notice that the films weren't as diverse. So I grew up in the Philippines, that's where I was born. And, same thing. I think I have some not native, like indigenous blood, and same thing. Philippines was colonized by the Spanish.
A lot we have that in common.
Yeah, historic stuff. I want to talk about, actually. That's why I'm making some of the IPs I'm making about, like, there's this one I'm developing that's like Harry Potter but with Filipino folklore. So with that, I want to talk about those certain aspects of how the history of the Philippines, so people would know.
I'm very excited to look at that, definitely, and learn from it. And we've been speaking because the common thread, of course, is Marvel, and talking about what it meant to us growing up. And I think it was a great thing that Stan Lee, for example, was the man he was, and that he was very open.
Jack Kirby,
and that, I think, that direction was always there, but it's always like a path that we have to walk through and keep pushing because not everybody's like that, obviously. So.
Because I think it's just the money. When they found out that you could still make money off it,
they will do it. But
it's just hard to.
To me, they were like, and this was like somebody that was supposedly on my side, and she said, "Look, if you do it with a white lead, this is how much we can make, and if it's a black guy, this is how much." I was like, I'm
is
so
that
done
true?
with this. This is real. I'm not gonna name names.
No, I mean the numbers. I wonder, but I guess after, if you talk to her after Black Panther, maybe it's a different story.
It just derailed the whole project. That philosophy of because to me, what's more important? I mean, things are never gonna change if you don't start pushing that way. So if they're always playing it safe, then society keeps repeating. It's like a cycle.
If you don't say anything, I know there's some parts of our industry, I'm not going to mention which relationship it is, but sometimes people don't want to like stand up for themselves, and if they don't, the other side will just keep on doing what they're doing to you, and this is individual people, it's not even big corporations. So sometimes you just have to take that plunge, and be the guy that makes the change.
Beautiful. That's exactly what we were about and what the panel is about. Hopefully getting people to understand that there's so much we can do, and that we're all losing and failing if we stay stagnant, because the other side, the side of bigotry, they keep pushing and they keep pushing. They get to the Supreme Court. They push in every direction.
They don't even care.
Local governments,
that's why the title for your panel is really nice. When you go through improving our situation, but not aggressively, just with kindness and with good heartedness.
Example.
So
it's a long one.
The panel that you're doing, Andres, can you tell us the date and time of the panel?
Yes, it's gonna be Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Room 5AB, I think. Yeah.
And who are some of the people that are going to be on the panel with you?
Well, this marvelous gentleman right here, first and foremost. No. We got Joe Mena, who's a great sculptor. We got Liam Patrick, who's done post-production for Marvel series and movies. She's a coordinator. We've got Daniela Medeiros, who is a great art director. She's a set designer. She did a lot of the stuff on Thor Ragnarok, which is a project that I'm particularly fond of. And of course, we also have Joanna Blackheart, who is our expert in inclusion and diversity and accessibility, which is so important to us and big part of this.
Exactly. I can't wait to meet them.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And one other question I have for both of you is, we see, what's the best way to phrase this? I'm just trying to think here for a moment, but we see a lot of stories written from a male perspective as well, in comic books, in folklore. And in your experiences professionally, have you been able to help women get their stories out there?
Yes.
When I was at Marvel, for sure, yes. We finally had first Captain Marvel, and then Black Widow, and of course having that whole 10-year run of trying to talk about each character and introducing them within the Marvel universe. But me myself personally, I haven't written any. Well, actually, my story I'm developing, the lead is female because of my daughter, so I'm hoping to get that made.
Yeah. So it's, in my stories, the female tends to be the lead, just because there's so many guys who've been the lead forever and ever, in my opinion. But Anthony forgot to say that he's helped, or maybe too humble to say that he's helped empower women who are also concept artists and designers.
So thanks for reminding me. When we were hiring for women designers at Marvel, I knew so many. Sometimes when people would say, "Oh, I don't know any female artists that are good," and I go, "Hey, I know some, so just let me find them," and I was able to get a few of them in.
Yeah, and speaking of Marvel, I took something from there, and that's empowering women. And when you get women on top, that's very powerful, especially when they voice that need for equity. And I'm trying to do my best to include people who are non-binary, as well as women, men, and of course every orientation, every gender, every type of person, because to me that's what makes the world beautiful and worth living in.
I had a recommendation to at Marvel, one of my friends who I tried to get in, who's he's gay, and I wish we were able to get him. It's nice to have a variety of this design aesthetic coming from different places.
Exactly.
So it's just the variety would be amazing.
It's exactly the same thing, writing. And when you're talking about these groups of people writing and writing rooms, it is so key that everybody has a voice, and it's because the world is that way. So instead, if you are going to have a writing room and they're all the same shade, you're missing out on the opportunity to really learn from that culture and make it all more authentic, and it will ring true for people reading it and watching it, to see themselves represented.
Sure.
Well, I want to thank both of you for this amazing interview here at Comic-Con, and I'm excited to be moderating the panel with you, and looking forward to it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.